Côte d'Ivoire's natural environment presented cotton to the locals. And when this gift came into the hands of the artistic spirit of the Sunofo, it was reborn into something beautiful at the hands of the people. The Sunofo tribe people continued the heritage they received from their ancestors who settled in the land 700 years ago. Their biggest cultural value lies in community culture. Eating together and comforting each other in times of sadness, the Sunofo still held on to the values that we have forgotten. They created a festival out of communal life. Traveling through the red land of Africa, one comes across mysterious spirits. I set out to find the world of gods, the power of the spirit, and the secret behind the mask. When you open the world map and go west along the equator, you will meet an unfamiliar country at the end, Côte d'Ivoire. Today, I am traveling west to Man City. The Man region is located in mountainous regions, a geographical feature rarely seen in West Africa. The region is surrounded by the highest mountains in Côte d'Ivoire, which reach 1,305 meters in height. It is home of the Yakuba tribe. Experts say that Côte d'Ivoire's development fell back around 2 decades due to the long civil war. Walking along the busy downtown at its initial stages of development, I notice a baguette store. The 60 years of French colonial rule has changed the people's eating habits.
Baguette 50, 150 also. No.
프랑스의 식민지였기 때문에 프랑스가 남긴 유산이 바로 이 프랑스식 바게트 빵이라는 겁니다. 큰 빵은 300원, 작은 건 150원. 여기
The Yakuba people's breakfast consists of a piece of bread and coffee. Among the busy stores, there is one store that attracts travelers in particular. It is the mask store. Masks form a big part of African culture. In particular, the Man region has a well-developed mask culture. Each of its villages has different masks.
Coma, masque coma. Ça vient de Touba.
All the masks come from
Ça c'est goulot. Ça c'est goulot ça.
Okay.
Goulot, ça c'est Zunula.
Okay.
Masks from neighboring tribes in Ghana and Mali, such as the Baul, are all present.
Ça c'est baoulé ça.
This
몇몇 다른 지역에서 좀 섞여 있는데 기본적으로는 다 망 지역의 마스크들입니다. With business these days?
Est-ce que c'est temps-ci-là que les affaires ça marche?
Les affaires ne marchent pas. Hein?
No business. No business since this crisis. No.
The masks seem to tell me their secret. The Yakuba believe that everything has a spirit. They also think that their ancestors' spirits continue to reside in nature. Around sunset, I went to a popular forest. Monkeys appeared on top of the tree. The visitors suddenly started clapping their hands. I would have thought that they would have to stay still not to scare the monkeys. But the monkeys, rather than being scared by the clapping, seemed to interact with the people.
C'est ça, souvent quand on fait comme ça, là ils sortent, quand on les donne banane, après ils peuvent rentrer.
Grandparents, grandmothers, and when they die, they didn't go anywhere. They begin monkeys and they are in the forest.
I see. So when you miss your grandparents,
yes, you come and you go.
The locals believe that monkeys are the reincarnation of their ancestors. At the people's calling, the monkeys come towards them without hesitation. The locals never hunt monkeys or do anything to hurt them. So the monkeys have become close with humans. I think their respect for nature and animals might have given birth to the custom of treating the monkeys as their ancestors. Visitors to the park give additional food to the monkeys and remember their ancestors.
돌아가신 할아버지 할머니가 그리워지면 이렇게 저녁에 나와서 마치 돌아가신 조상님에게 제사 지내듯이 하나하나를 원숭이에게 갖다 준다고 합니다.
After saying goodbye to the ancestor monkeys, I set out to find another story related to spirits. The people taking a nap are the caretakers of this special place in the forest with tall trees. I can hear the cool falling of water. The sound originates from a waterfall located deep inside the forest. The waterfall is falling down on a slope that looks like a staircase. Every year on January 1st, the tribe chief and people gather at the waterfall to hold a ritual to commemorate their ancestors and pray for good luck.
Who is the god?
Yeah, no, the god is your first ancestor.
Ancestor. I see.
So the population believe when the people die, your aspire in the tree or in the water or in the fire. It believe in reincarnation.
The Yakuba people believe that the spirit returns to nature. The waterfall was a popular spot before the Civil War. But the crumbled building showed the pain of the past Civil War.
이제 안정돼가는 정세에 따라서 다시 이제 사람들도 오기 시작할 것이고, 그러면 이 장소도 다시 단장이 되겠죠.
I am going deep into the mountains in search of the original culture, where the secret of the mask lives on. A small village is situated in the middle of the mountain. The peaceful view of nature almost makes the place seem surreal, like a film set. I am a little worried because it might be the first time that a foreigner has visited this village.
Bonjour. Ça va?
I needn't have worried because the locals are welcoming.
마을도 이쁘고 마을 생김새처럼 사람들도 아주 이쁘네요. 계속 처음 보는 이방인에게 웃어주고 인사해주고 이분들은 잘 불어가 안 통하는 것 같아요. 여기 아마 야쿠바족일 텐데 야쿠바족 말로 계속 뭐라고 말씀을 걸어주시고 어떡합니까? 몰라도 그냥 웃음으로 같이 만나야죠.
I first have to meet the tribal chief.
수장님 안녕하십니까?
The village has a history. Surprisingly, the chief explains that it has only been a decade since they moved here from their old village. They cultivated the mountain to build the village. A kitchen is being built. The interesting thing is that it is 2 stories high. The second floor is used as a grain store. The kitchen is separated from the bedroom.
Faut dire, c'est une cuisine.
C'est une cuisine.
Ça prend combien de jours comme ça?
Un jour.
Non, à commencer en bas.
A new life was born recently.
Un mois. 1 month.
Ah, 1 month. Petit. Bébé. Petit.
Babies are cute wherever you go. The square houses are rooms, and the round ones are kitchens. It is an interesting architectural culture. The locals have a lot of humor as well.
지금 부엌입니다.
The woman says that she will prepare me some food. She prepares a banana. Then she boils the banana like a soup. The kitchen shows traces of time. The first floor is used for cooking. And the secret second floor is used for storing grain and for ventilation. The functions are divided. The old woman shows zest even in her walk. The cooked banana has turned a darker yellow. Eager to eat, I grabbed one and tasted it while it was hot.
딱 그 감자하고 고구마하고 섞어놓은 맛이에요. 약간 단맛도 있고, 그다음에 텁텁하기도 하고. 근데 바나나에서 상상했던 그 맛은 전혀 아닙니다.
This village doesn't have a threshing season either. The locals store the wheat as it is because of the hot weather and thresh it when they need to. It is not different from how Koreans lived before.
어릴 때 해보셨어요?
이걸 해볼 일이 있나? 한 번도 안 해봤어요?
I decided to help the tired women. But it wasn't easy.
우리나라 돌이켜는 이게 돌로 치는 게 있어요. 그래서 이게 축 치면은 동시에 여러 나다를 치게 돼 있는데 여기는 그냥 이게 작대 끝으로만 쳐야 되니까 이게 보통 노동력이 아니네. 더군다나 이 땡볕에. 아이고.
Farm work cannot be done with just strength alone. The women laugh at my efforts. Not seeming to trust my work, the woman threshes the wheat next to me.
체중을 다 실어서 이 작대기를 눕혀야 돼.
I realize how precious grain is, seeing how much effort goes into getting one grain of rice.
남이 쌀인데도 남이 쌀인데도 배가 부르네.
I spot an unfamiliar fruit around the village. The children pick the fruit as if it is ripe. But they don't put it in their mouths. This round yellow fruit is special. A village person puts the fruit in a mortar and starts pounding. I cannot tell what she is preparing. Then someone brings a black lump. It is a termite house. There are live termites inside. The fruit and termite house pounded together create a special medicine. It is sort of an ointment.
This is for headache. For headache.
우리는 백인들에게 필요 없다고. 이렇게 자랑스럽게. 열매 이름은 네인 오브 프루트. 오케이. 발음하기도 어려운 백. 백.
We might think that the locals do not get stressed out, but I'm sure that they still get sick. When they get a headache, they apply this ointment to their face like lotion.
얼굴에 바르고 나서 한 두어 시간 지나면 두통이 싹 사라진다고 합니다.
I found laughter and leisure in the village, but I still have to find out about the secret of the mask. I continued on with my travels in search of the secret behind the mask. The village people here are also full of laughter. They are very welcoming to the unexpected stranger visiting. I feel warm in my heart. The women and children have gathered in one place. They seem to be playing a sort of game with beans. First, they put a handful of beans into a container, shake it, and pour it on the ground. Then the opponent player does the same.
이 콩들의 색깔이 다 다르죠. 각 선수마다 다른 색깔의 콩을 가지고 한콩을 넣습니다. 여러 색깔의 콩이 합성을 한 다음에 흔들어서 조금만 구멍이 있죠? 여기 구멍에 딱 넣고 마지막에 하나를 남을 때 그 하나의 색깔이 원래 주인이 승자가 되는 게임이에요. 근데 이 게임은 원래는 여자들만 즐기는 게임이래요. 저는 지금 잠깐 깍두기 느끼는 거고.
They said they'd let me play. I'm confident when it comes to games.
Now we are going to see the winner. Whoa! The last one.
As a result, one of the teams gathers more beans than the other. I guess this is a game that adds a fun factor to hard farming work.
They are not all married. Maintenant, quand vous finissez de jouer avec les haricots là, il devait savoir si vous savez préparer. Non,
게임에서 이기는 행운이 더 많은 수확을 가져다 주기를 바라는 그런 종류의 게임인 것 같습니다.
The simple game is pretty addictive. Sometimes women play it for a whole day. While the women are enjoying their game, the men begin a rowdy ritual. A live mask finally appears. The mask ritual is prohibited to women. A man in a black mask attacks the village man. The pole symbolizes a spear, and the masked man symbolizes the ancestor's spirit and warrior. Legend has it that when the masked man sends the village youth to battle, they will always win. Apart from being a symbol of their belief, the masked man is also responsible for training the men for war. Tribal wars have continued in Africa for a long time. The masked man's warrior dance represents the hope that the men will come back alive and victorious from war.
Le masque, c'est un masque bas. C'est un masque guerrier. Tous les gestes qu'il était en train de faire tout à l'heure, vous savez que le masque me était fâché tout à l'heure.
아주 진지하고 정말 이들로서는 뭐 그야말로 종교니까요. 마을 사람들의 안녕을 지켜주는 신적인 존재에 대한 그 터부라든가 이런 게 당연히 중요하게 여겨지겠죠.
It is said that women will not be able to bear children if they touch the mask. And the identity behind the mask is kept a secret. The masked man is the guardian of the Yakuba, and his identity is a secret. The dance movements are similar to the Korean Talchum mask dance. However, unlike the Korean Talchum, this mask dance is not just a satirical play. It is directly related to the Yakuba people's lives and their fervent hopes. The mask in itself cannot exert all of its power. It needs to be accompanied by music for its true spiritual force to be exerted. The masked man seems tired from his warrior dance. The mask seen from up close is more familiar than scary. The masked man has finally finished the ritual. I wondered if I could see the face behind the mask.
Ok. Est-ce que je peux parler à votre masque?
Non, 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 non. Tu ne peux pas parler. Tu ne peux pas. Tu ne peux pas. Parce que c'est un truc sacré.
Because the mask is sacred.
C'est nous, on peut le parler, mais vous,
Oui,
non.
we can talk.
Parce qu'il ne parle pas, parce que la femme n'attend pas sa voix. C'est pas bon. C'est un truc qui est dangereux. Ça
Very dangerous. The mask is very dangerous.
d'accord.
C'est comme ça.
네, 이 춤춘 마스크 쓴 본인하고 잠깐이라도 대화, 얼굴을 보는 건 물론 불가능인데 그럼 말이라도 잠깐 할 수 있냐 했더니 그것도 절대 안 된답니다. 그 이유는 마을에 특히 여자들이 저 춤춘 사람이 누군지를 알게 되는 건 절대 금기예요. 그래서 입을 열면은 그 목소리로 누군지 알게 되기 때문에 말하는 것도 허용이 안 된답니다. 철저하게 지켜지는 금기네요.
Life in the Man region is always accompanied by masks. I was stopped by these small masked figures. Each of the masks is different, and their roles are different as well. Sometimes a mask is used as a medium to call forth the tribal ancestors, and sometimes as a tool for coming of age.
눈도 코도 끝도 없이 수염만 달랑 있는 얼굴인데요.
I visited a mask workshop. It is a holy place where not anyone can enter. I wanted to receive permission to watch the mask-making process because the mask had such an important meaning for the Yakuba, as it does for many Africans. There was a mask that was in the shape of an animal.
이것도 역시 춤출 때 쓰는 마스크라고 합니다.
What is this black mask used for?
Cérémonie? Pour cérémonie.
Quand les grandes personnes décèdent, ils ne sont pas comme ça. Quand les grandes personnes décèdent, et au moment de la cérémonie, le masque sort. Il sort, ça signifie qu'on sait déjà qu'il y a un notable, un grand de la région qui est décédé.
Il a un nom?
Oui, le cran. Le masque cran.
그랑? 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 그랑?
Mais ça a une autre signification.
이 얼굴로 보면은 딱 장래가 축제가 될 수 있겠다 생각이 들어요. 저승사자의 얼굴이지만 이렇게 코믹하게 웃고 있고.
There is another mask with a special use.
Ce sont des petits masques, les passeports. Avant, nos parents, quand ils voyagent, quand ils veulent aller à quelque part, par exemple, si tu as un dent, tu es de l'Ouest, tu prends ce petit masque, ça est sur toi, que tu fais une fois, on te demande que tu montes, on sait que tu es Yakuba, tu es de telle région. Si tu as ça, on sait, lui, il est de moi, ou elle est de Tanane.
Oui, d'accord.
The palm-size identification mask looks like the Yakuba, don't you think? When I continue asking about the masks, the craftsmen fill a gourd with water without responding.
To ask them permission.
They are asking their ancestors if they can show me the mask-making process. How did the ancestor answer?
Donc, ils sont couchés. Donc, ils sont contents.
If the fruits face the same way, then it means that the ancestor has given permission. After checking that I have received permission, the craftsmen gladly show me the mask-making process. This is the powder used to paint the mask black. It is soot scraped from an old kitchen furnace. They are still using the method used by their ancestors when there was no paint. This is the mask of the Angel of Death. The painted mask is smoked dry on coals. It looks like spirits are pouring out of the masked hole. The masks stand for the various emotions of the Yakuba. Seeing the skilled craftsman, I suddenly come up with an interesting idea. I show them a picture of the Korean traditional Hahue mask and ask them if they can make it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, ça ressemble.
만들 수 있대요. 하루만 달라고. 그러니까 뭐 정말 하루면 똑같이 비슷하게 나올지 모르겠지만 마스크에 담긴 인간의 보편적인 정서가 확실히 있는 것 같아요.
I wonder how people living at opposite ends of the earth can share the same mask culture.
Yeah. Allez prendre mon téléphone dans la voiture pour appeler le gars de...
The plain wood is etched with various expressions and emotions.
Oui, tu sais, quand tu es dans le masque, vraiment, là, tu n'es pas un homme. Déjà, par exemple, chez nous, le masque, quand on arrête le masque, on ne voit rien sur toi. Donc, une fois que tu es dans le masque, tu n'as pas honte. Toi, tu te dis, tous ceux qui sont là ne te connaissent pas. Voilà, donc, tu peux danser comme tu veux. Voilà, mais une fois qu'on te connaît, tu vois, il y a la honte un peu là, tu te dis, ah, ils sont là, mais regardez, mais tu es dans le masque, tu es dans le masque. Il y a un esprit qui vient en toi, et ça te donne la force.
I spot a young boy polishing wood among adults.
Est-ce que tu aimes bien ça?
Ouais.
Yes, I love what I'm doing.
Bon. J'aimerais d'être pilote.
The boy has his own dream.
T'as pas l'argent dedans?
Si, il y a l'argent, mais ça, il fait ça pour que, par malheur, si il n'a pas réussi mon école, il fait ça quoi.
Ok.
You're a good boy. Very handsome.
The young boy is very mature for his age.
Keep on going, okay?
The boy invites me to his home. The boy's parents have left their rural hometown and are making a living in the city. The original house owner has left the house because of the Civil War, and the boy and his family are staying there temporarily.
Here we go, one of my brothers.
Oh, you and your brother are sitting together. You test. Okay. Geography. Technology. 과학 기술 배우고 있고요.
Late into the night, the boy's father comes back from work. He brought home a brood hen instead of a wage. The boy's father makes a friendly impression. Dinner is prepared for the whole family.
Je suis en difficulté de rentrer, mais je ne peux pas dormir au dehors. Il faut que je vienne quand même. Bon, pour chercher solution dans la maison maintenant. Puisque ça ne va pas là-bas, en venant maintenant, il faut chercher solution. Sinon, c'est pas facile, quoi.
Because the family couldn't eat the brood hen, a humble dinner is prepared instead. Thin vegetable soup is prepared to be eaten with rice. Being half-starved, the rice tastes like honey. The boy has a family, a school to attend, and is learning carving. And lastly, the boy has a dream. The next day, I go to check whether the highway mask is complete. Wow, this is great craftsmanship.
그리고 이렇게 해서 제 얼굴을 대면 어떻게 제 얼굴하고 닮아 보이나요? 어딘가 아프리카의 모습이 코, 입에 약간 돌출된 입, 돌출된 이마. 이건 전형적인 아프리카 특성이죠. 코트디보라인하고 결혼을 하면은 그 아이가 태어날 때 이런 모습이 나오지 않을까?
Envoie-moi une femme coréenne.
Okay, bring me a Korean
Oh, you want to marry a Korean woman?
Koreans and the people of CotedIvoire have become one through a mask. From time to time, we need masks in our lives. Not a mask to hide our ugliness, but a mask to bring out our dormant strength. Perhaps the secret behind the mask is courage.